6. And now the kick is away.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
A gain of 3, second down. They'll look to throw. That's complete to Slayton.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him already. A terrific first quarter here to begin the playoffs.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's caught by Montgomery. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll make it second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Flush to his right, and he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Bears force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return.
Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. On the ground, Kamara. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Running with Kamara. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
Now it's Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for only a couple.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Jackson steps away to his left. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Lamar Jackson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Here's a 2nd and 7. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Kamara.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
On the ground, this is Jackson, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Tyree Jackson taking it in from a yard out. And the Saints continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Now a throw here, hold in.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On play action, they'll throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Open man is Winfrey. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements.
Then he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. They'll set up to throw. Going for it all. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out, got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track. I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Lutz good on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, one of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium, but you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Play action. Now Jackson.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. 64 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Going to be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Peyton Turner. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Mike 42, Mike 42. Watch the screen. Trap 60.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Let's go. 25, check 25.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Check 45 to Mike.
Now Jackson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Saints. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints just continue to roll.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel and make sure they get their security deposit back.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Still 9 remaining on second down. He'll look to throw. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. Out of the gun now on third down. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. So no gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Kamara gets it again on second down. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
One quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 3. A busy night continues for Kamara. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 98 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A give. This is Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And he's got this down to the 35.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Now Jackson. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Bilal Nichols there on the stop.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. On the ground, this is Kamara. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it.
Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. This a 43-yard attempt. And it's no good. Lutz pulled it, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
42's the mic, boys. 46.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Peyton Turner, his 2nd sack of the night.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And a high throw there as this is knocked away down to the ground and incomplete. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Dancing away at the 30. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have bucked the trend so far. Sterling performance to this point on the road, no less, in the wild card round. And they look to finish things off here in this 4th quarter. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And the Saints season will march on as we say thanks for watching and so long. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night from Chicago.